Hello, my name is Craig Mertens, Director of Product Education for Inktavo, the parent company of InkSoft, Printavo, GraphicsFlow, and SignTracker. And if you're not aware, we also acquired a company in the UK in the sign-making shop software called Clarity. So we're an international company now, which is kind of exciting. So what I wanted to do with the class today is I wanted to do a back to basics class on the rudiments of creating online stores with InkSoft. So without further ado, let's get right into it. So I am logged into my InkSoft account, and you'll notice my administration level that I set for myself is a super admin. So there's really nothing that I can't do within the platform. You can certainly go to your user accounts and restrict profiles in terms of your employees and lock them out of certain things. But if I want to have the ability to pretty much do whatever I want within the InkSoft environment, the super admin permission level lets me do whatever I want. And that means also adding and deleting users and such. I'm starting out on the InkSoft Dashboard. I want to point out a couple things as it relates to setting up stores. If you go into the dashboard, the first thing you're going to see right here is pending stores. And these are stores that are in various stages of setting up. And so we've been using the new store wizard. We've gotten through certain parts of getting these stores set up, but we haven't completed them. So if you're working on a store and you're setting it up and, the UPS guy comes and, to run to the door, when you come back, you can see the progress. And if you just want to continue setting up the store, you can just click on continue setup and pick up where you left off. Also, if I scroll down here, you'll notice that we have quite a few stores in this account, and some of these stores are active, some of are inactive. And so if I didn't want to put a store to sleep for a period of time and then resurrect it later on in the future, I can certainly just go down here and just make it inactive. So I just go in here and turn it off and then pop it open in the future. The other thing you're going to see is some high level information, number of products that are in that store, if that store is set up has an end date, if there's a fundraiser in that store, kind of where we're at with the fundraiser, which is always kind of handy. And then you have the little cog icon over here. If you click on the cog icon, it's going to take you right directly into the store admin area. And this is where you would customize a store within the admin. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a store from scratch. And the reason I want to do that is I want to showcase like some of the settings and what really those settings are. And bear in mind, when we're creating a store from scratch, we really only have to do that once. Because once we have that store set up and we have the preferences for that store set up the way we like them, we don't have to really ever do that again. We could just clone a store and then just go in and make some maybe changes into the admin area that are very specific to that store. So this is a feature really, if you're doing it right, you really only have to do this once. So I'm going to go over here and click on create new store, and I'm logged in as an admin, and you're going to see something different. What you're seeing here is a preview of what the new getting started feature looks like. So if I wanted to just start a store from scratch, I'd click on get started. We also made the cloning of stores much more prominent. A lot of times people aren't aware that when you set up a store, you can clone a store. And that's a feature that we added about a year ago. And cloning means making a copy of the store, but it also gives you the ability to bring in the products from the previous store, as well as do what we call bulk art replacement. So you'll notice there's a whole new area down here that's choose a store template. And there's a whole section of new store templates. So you have a starting point that have different visual elements, and they're arranged kind of by vertical market. So here's sports and teams, school and education stores, corporate and retail oriented stores, special event stores, just a shop landing page. But this has been a feature that's been requested by customers over and over again, and we're really happy to deliver. It's been a pretty big project. There's some other pretty significant enhancements that are coming as a part of this in a phase 2, which is some major updates to some of the components within a store and how you can customize it. The store templates is a new feature, and we're really excited about it. If you use this new store feature and you use that as the basis to kind of create your store template for a vertical market, let's say for your team stores, you can still go and clone that. So you use the template to get started. And then what you do is you use the team store template to clone for other options. And so if you're going to use the create new store template, you're still going to come in here and, add the store name and the URL and go from there. And then you would just click on this template over here to create the store. What we're going to do is we're going to create a store from scratch. And I'm going to walk through the basic functionality of the store. And the first thing that we have to do is we have to name the store. Now, there's two ways to direct a URL in InkSoft. Way number one is to have it hosted, using our hosting. So it'll always say https://stores.inksoft.com/ whatever your store name is. And so certain names are reserved because they've possibly been used before. So if you're going to use bears /bears, it's probably already been used. If you have your own domain or you want to redirect a store to a specific domain, for instance, eastboosters.org/merch, you can absolutely positively do that. And one of the things that's very, I think, convenient about InkSoft is that we handle the SSL certificates, the security certificates. So when you do redirect to a specific domain, we handle all that on our end. So it makes it real easy for you. There are times, depending upon your domain host, that you might need a little bit of help from our team in terms of settings and things to make sure everything's configured right. But that's just part of the service that we offer. So we try to make that as easy as possible. But let's go in here and I'm going to create a simple little store from scratch. This is going to be a store that's built around schools. So I'm going to call this Central Boosters and I'll call it Winter 24. So this is their winter store. And you notice we're auto-generating a little URL right here. But if I want to shorten that, I can do that as well. And so we'll just shorten it to Central Boosters Winter. And then I'll click on Continue. Now, I can go back and change that URL in the future. I'm not stuck with that forever. So if I do want to go back and re-up this store and change it to 25 for next year, I can do that. Now, I do have a couple decisions I need to make here. I need to decide if the store is going to be public or private. And private means it's going to require a password. And you'll also notice there's a progress bar up here in the right-hand corner, and it's showing me all the little steps that I'm going through in order to get this store set up. And so we're at the step where we've already completed name and directory, and we're at the step where we're discussing public or private. Now, if I make the store private, it would require the user to go in and enter a password to enter it. That's something that is really useful. And think about it like this. If you're a company and you have company uniforms, you probably don't want the general public just popping into your store and ordering uniforms. And so that'd be a typical example of where somebody would want to put a password behind that store and maybe have a hidden link in their corporate website, redirect to that hidden link, and then just have a password for the customers to pop in. So I'm going to make this particular store public. I'm going to click on Continue, and then we'll set up whoever the store manager is, and I'll do my alter ego, Craig Martin, right here. Put that in there, and I'll just leave this email address alone. And we can have the email address displayed on the storefront along with the phone number. And here's all the company information that's coming over from the last time I created a store. So I would probably need to update that. And then I could also click on the little button here to have this show up on the Google map. So when it generates the homepage, it's going to show up on the Google map, which is kind of a nice thing to have. So looks good. Names are good. Address is good. I'm going to click on Continue. It's going to do auto address verification. So I could click on that to address verify it. But I'm going to click on this one instead because I like the title case a little bit better, but we'll do the same thing. So store logo. Your store logo is going to be what is going to be in the main banner for your store. So it's pretty important. There's some general specs there on the types of files, PNG, JPEG, GIF, or SVG. I'm here to tell you, you will have the best results with the PNG file, especially if the background's knocked out. That's a standard functionality of PNG files. Bear in mind, a JPEG file does not have the ability to knock background out. It doesn't have a transparency functionality in that file format. So I always recommend PNG. It's a great internet format. And so I'm just going to go and upload a logo. And we're just going to use this little banner right here. So I'm going to click on Open. It's going to add it. And if there's any kind of issue with the file, software will tell us. Icon's kind of important because that's what is going to show up in the tab in like Google Chrome. And you want something to be pretty simple, like a mascot or just a simple kind of circular type logos. Smaller logos like this work the very best. And then preview image. Normally you would go back and update this after you've created the store. What I usually do is just take a screenshot of 1600 by 900 pixels and I just go back and upload it because this is what will be previewed if you have your link posted into like a Facebook or Instagram post. this is what the preview image is going to look like, but I already have a preview image here. So I'm just going to upload it real quick right here. So I'd already captured that. And at this point, I'm going to hit continue. So I'm on to the next step. Now, one of the things that's happening, InkSoft is looking at the colors in your logo and your banner, and it's looking at those colors, and that's going to help you when you go to localize the store in terms of branding and colors. It's going to already pull those colors out, so it's easy for you to grab that. So if you want to add the InkSoft Designer to the store, you can certainly click on yes. So we'll click on yes. And over here, there's some settings that you may or may not want to have. So for instance, reveal blank pricing and catalog. In the store, I'm not interested in selling blanks. It's only going to be pre-decorated product. If I'm going to enable the designer in here, do I want to have the ability to work with distressed files, have the weathered overlay? If I can handle that from an artwork point of view in my equipment, yeah, I would say definitely. But if I'm not comfortable with those, just don't turn them on. Design sharing. I'm going to leave design sharing on because I think it's a great feature. If somebody wants to get something designed in the designer and save it and send that link to a coworker to collaborate or maybe have them update, you can do that. Enforced boundaries is going to require the artwork to go within the imprint area that we established for that blank product. So it's not going to let us steer the imprint outside of the imprint area. And I think that's generally a good idea to include. Design ideas, we're going to show the templates, and we're going to assign some templates to this store. So if the customer wants to grab a template, custom ink style, they can do that. We're also going to include clipart. We're going to enable them to upload artwork. You have to really put some thought into this, because if you allow clients to upload artwork, you also have to be prepared to have them upload terrible artwork, in which case you're going to have to go back to them and say, hey, listen, this artwork's terrible. I'm going to have to pay somebody to clean it up, and I have to charge you for that. Or you're going to be stuck with artwork that just can't print. So I think it's okay to have customers upload their artwork, and I think it's a really good use case. But I think adding a disclaimer saying, hey, listen, if the artwork's not production ready, we have to clean it up. We're going to have to charge you for that. That's an easy thing to add in terms of a custom checkout field. And I'll show you how to do that in a little bit. If we have any specific artwork terms about that topic, this would be the place to put them. I can have vector art only enabled. I don't think that's a good idea because I want to get the order, and then I've got the order, even though the artwork might not be perfect, it still gives me an opportunity to reach back out to the customer versus them trying to upload something and it won't take it. And that's the last I ever hear from them. So I generally would recommend not turning that on. So we're going to click on continue and production schedule. A couple options here. An on-demand order is a site is just going to be going continuously. And that store could have inventory. If I put a product and create a product that's decorated and put it in that store, I can go back to that product and actually assign inventory levels to that and draw against that inventory if I wanted to. An expected production date is a little different. Maybe we're going to run the store for 3 weeks and then we're just going to close it, which is what I'm going to do here. I'm going to run this store till the 31st and then the store is going to close. So, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to collate all the orders, put them all together and bulk produce them. Require order approval. If I toggle that on, I'm going to get some options here. Bear in mind, any order placed through this store is not going to go directly into the order manager's new order functionality. It's going to go into the order manager's order approval tab. And so if you want to know where your orders are, they're going into that section based on the criteria that you set. So the criteria could be every order, maybe just orders that include the designer or uploaded art. You want to put some eyes on the art. Maybe orders that haven't gotten paid yet. So you want to put some eyes on that before we start production, or, orders that exceed a set dollar amount. So I'm going to go over here and check this option. And I'm just going to say anything over $1,000 that I need to put some eyes on it before we move it through production. And then also, because I have a Printavo account as well, I can start sharing this store with Printavo. So I can go in there, I can turn that on or off. And also I can save these as settings for future stores. So I'm going to go over here and click on continue. And then add shipping methods to the store. I'm going to say yes. So we have some shipping methods that we use all the time. And the main shipping method I'm going to use is UPS ground and then pickup. And I'm going to go in here, I'm going to turn second day off. And I'm going to make UPS priority, drag it to the top. That's going to be the main one that I'm going to use for this store. I really want to push the U.S. Postal Service in terms of the quoting. So I'm going to click on continue. I could include a pickup location with specific instructions for that pickup location. So if I wanted to put a pickup location in here, I can do that. And then also I can add pricing on that pickup location. So if I want to have a pickup location and call it school office, available for pickup from 2 to 4 p.m., Monday through Friday, excluding holidays, right? So somebody can sail by the school office and pick up their merch during those periods of time. And we'll make it an on-demand pickup schedule. And we're actually going to say, hey, listen, it's, you got to give us 10 days here till you can roll by the school and pick up. And then pricing type, I can come down here and I can say item count. I'm going to charge a pickup fee. So on our singular product, I'm going to charge them $5 as a pickup fee because I've got some handling and things involved in that too. And then I'm going to add a second tier here. And I'm going to say, once they get to 5 products, and then we're going to add a pickup fee of $10 there. Maybe that's going to be my max pickup fee. And if in your state doesn't require taxation on fees, then you can just turn that up. And you can also turn on no discount, so it won't discount that fee. It'll just always be $5 or $10 if they have a coupon, for instance. I can put the address in here, and we'll just go and put in that address. All right, I created a pickup method, and that'll be stored in that store. So the neat thing is if we use this store and we actually create a proposal or an invoice in InkSoft and connect it to that store, all this information will come through as well, including my shipping methods and my pickups. So it's really important to pick out this information and put it in properly because you can bill orders through the proposals and invoicing tool in InkSoft and have them connected to the store so that all that information comes over, but also those orders go into the customer's portal so they can see everything they placed through the store. And they can also see everything that was going on with any manual orders that you sent over. Maybe you did a bulk order for the cross-country team and they wanted to take a look at that. So we're all ready to go. I'm going to click on continue customer payment. So if we want to require payment right here, we can make it optional or we could disable payments. Why would you disable payments? Maybe you want people just to go and pick out their sizes and they're going to do an offline order. And we're going to use the store just to collect sizes for the athletes. So that'd be a good example of why you would turn off payment. But I'm going to go over here and just say payment is optional on this store. In this store, I'm not going to accept POs from just the general public. I'll accept POs for people that I enable for POs. I've got PO attachments disabled. So if I enable that, people could upload during the ordering process, the actual PDF, which is pretty handy. Allow customers to add gift message to their order. If they're sending it to somebody else, hey, why not? That's cool. Accept coupons and gift certificates. Yeah, I'm going to set that up. And there's a reason for that because I might use this store for doing name, image, likeness programs where I issue promotional codes to the student athletes. And then they have the coach or booster prints out a postcard with a QR code directing folks to the store. And the student athlete can write their promo code on there. So when an order is placed, and they check out with that promo code, doesn't even have to involve a discount. It's just a neat way to track where the order came from. And now in the modern era, you're permitted to pay those kids a percentage of that if you choose to. Or maybe you just say, hey, if you get the kid that gets the most orders gets a free hoodie, you can do that too. But display estimated delivery date, so I'm going to leave that off. But if you're comfortable with the delivery window, no problem turning it on. Taxable locations, these are the places that we're going to be picking up from. If they come to Tempe, they're going to have to pay taxes. Now, if I live in a state that's tax exempt, we could certainly make the store tax exempt. So I'm going to make this store tax exempt. Big one right here. So super important. Automate abandoned cart emails. Absolutely going to turn that on. And what I can do is I can set up a time interval. So I'm going to say at 1, 3, and 10 days, if you go in and you check out and you abandon your cart, you're going to get a little email. And I can go click into here and edit that email template. And I can make that email template specific to just this store. And I could put a promo coupon. I could issue a promo code coupon saying, hey, use this promo code at checkout and say 5% or 10%. So that's a very cool feature. And it's a relatively new feature. And I think it's worth going back into your store settings and enabling that. I would probably enable that for all my stores. So we'll click on continue. Custom checkout field. So remember we were talking about that checkout field. And I'm going to create one here as a multiple choice dropdown. And this is going to be required. And the field label is going to be artwork cleanup charges. Now, what they don't know is I'm going to send that to GraphicsSource, and they're going to charge me like $10 for that, and I'm going to pocket the other $15. But it's a pretty good deterrent against people uploading scans of cocktail napkins, which we've all dealt with that. So you've got the little custom field for checkout. That's kind of accommodating for that. I'm going to click on continue. And what kind of reporting do I want to get? Do I want to get a daily order summary? Do I want instant order notifications? Do I want to be notified every time somebody places an order? Some people do that. Do I want contact us notifications to come to this address? Yeah, we could do that. And we could replace this address, add another address, and pretty much route the emails however we want to go. So I'm just going to do a daily order summary, and we'll click continue. And I can enable social media share buttons here. So if I have the URLs for all the social medias, I can put that in. But since I don't, I'm going to turn that off. And we're going to click continue. And I'll just use default messaging for thank yous. But I could go over here and say thank you message. Your order is placed. Go Cougs. There you go. So now we got a little custom message in there. We'll go ahead and hit continue. So I'm not going to put a custom domain in there. If I did, I'd click on that and I have to put my domain in there. There's a little bit of extra configuring with your host that you have to do, but we'll help you with that. And we'll hit continue. And we've got a store. So do I ever have to do this again? Not really, unless it would be easier just to clone a store and then go into the settings after the fact and make the changes. But the first time I do a store, this isn't a bad way to do it. Here's your store URL, by the way. And then we're going to go to the store, and it's going to be pretty basic. It's going to be blank. So within this store, the logo came in. The default colors are white. There's no components that are here. There's no products within the store. So we've got a little bit of work to do. And so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to set up the aesthetics of the store. So that's going to be the first thing I'm going to do. And I would go over to the style editor to do that. But before we go over there, what we can do is we can go over to store admin and just kind of see the lay of the land. If I click on that and click on store settings, here's just the way you go back into the store to adjust any of those settings. So you notice right here, it says the designer. I'm going to enable the InkSoft Designer in there, but I don't have any products assigned to this store. So I'm going to show you how to go and add some products to the store a little bit. And so I'm going to go over here and go to manage products. And I'm going to go over to select a store real quick. And I'm going to do my East Eagles booster store. So here's all the products from my East Eagles booster store right there. So that's everything in there. And then, what I'm going to do? I'm going to assign them to this store. So I'm going to just assign the same exact products over to it. So everything that's in my East store is going to go over into this store. And this store was the Winter 24 store, right? So all of a sudden, click on apply and click on OK. And all the products that were from that other store are coming over into the new store. And I can go and curate those and disable them and turn them off or on if I want to. But I'm pretty happy with this. We're going to go back to the store. And we're going to refresh that. So it's going to be adding those products. And it's going to take a little while for that to pop in there. So got to add those products in there. And then design ideas, I've got that turned on. So I'm going to go and add some design templates. And I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to take all the designs from this store right here, my other central store, and select them and add them. Hit got it. And I'm going to do the same thing for clipart. I'm going to just duplicate the clipart I had in the other store. And select all those, hit add. And that's really the only thing you kind of have to do after the fact. So those are the kind of have to do things. And we're going to save and publish that. And so now we got the store where we want it. If I wanted to go back in here and maybe adjust the contact person over here, put new contact person in there, this is where I would do it, right in there. Let's go back to the style editor and let's just start making this store look cool. The way InkSoft works in terms of setting up the store, it works based on components. And every component is what we call context sensitive, meaning that depending on the component, it'll project to you what the different options that are available to you are. So if I go and select a component, and we'll just start off with a simple component called a promo banner. So if I go over here, here's all my components listed. I could just slip down here to promo banner, or I could just scroll through the list, but we're going to do a little promo banner in here, and we're going to add it. And then notice it's context sensitive. So now it says, hey, let's edit that banner. And then this is where you can put the copy in. Get your orders in by December 23rd. I'm center justifying that. So all the things I can do for that banner are going to be displayed over here. So that's component 1. And then component 2, I'm going to add a CTA, call to action. right here. And I got a couple different options in terms of what it looks like. I'm just going to do this basic CTA right here. What's cool about these CTAs, call to actions, is you can just use them as a text component. So if I came over here and I don't really want it to have a button that goes somewhere or a button that goes to a link, I just want to use this as to create a block of text and have it center justified. I can just do that and say, congratulations to our seniors. Order your senior merch here. That's your CTA. But bear in mind, if you navigate out of here, you're going to get a message saying, hey, none of this is saved. So you always want to hit save and publish when you're done. But let's go and click on edit here where we have it edited here. And let's pick a color. And you notice it's pulled the colors from the logo. So that's where these colors are coming from. They're coming from the logo. If I have RGB or hex values and I want to go in and input new values in here, I can absolutely do that. But it's pulling the colors from the logo. So that's, to me, that feels like it's pretty handy. And then let's add a fundraising component in here. So I'm just going to hit plus. And I'm going to go and do a fundraiser. And we'll do this one right here. And it's kind of got placeholder copy in there right now. What I'm going to do is I'm going to click on edit. And actually, I'm going to put a fundraising image in here. So I'm just going to hit the upload button. And I even kind of put a blue overlay on it. So a little bit of blue hue. And so that's going in there. And then we can put whatever copy we want in here. So if we got the little edit button and we want to go and edit the copy, we can do that. So we're just going to go over here to the little description window. And we're going to do a goal, financial goal. We're going to try to raise $5,000. And my payout metric is going to be an amount per unit. So we're just going to say $5 a unit. And I'm not going to disable this goal when the store ends. This would be like any kind of description we want to put in here. End date right here. Yep, this is going to end on, I think we said the 31st. So we put that in there. Done. I am going to change the color scheme here because I want to add a background color here. I want to have that blue background color in there with the white foreground. I think that looks pretty good. And then what I'm going to do is I'll either hit the plus button to move it up, or I think the cooler way to do it is just to use the drag and drop. And I'm just going to move it up. I'm going to put it right above the product because what I'm actually going to do is drop a banner in here. So the next thing I'm going to do is we're going to add a banner. So I'm going to go to the component and I'm going to add what's called a hero banner. Cool stores have cool banners. That's it. If you want to have a great looking store, have great looking banners. And, Canva is your friend. So if you're not super comfortable doing graphics, get a free Canva account. They've got all kinds of banner templates. You can give it the dimensions. It'll crank out absolutely amazing banners. You don't have to be any kind of a graphics pro. I'm going to go in here and I'm going to select that banner layout right there. And then what I'm going to do is click on the edit button and I'm going to upload an image. Yeah, here's my banner right there. And it's not the right size. So what I'm going to do is delete this component. And I'm going to add this version because it'll shrink it to fit. And let's go and add that banner again. And we'll go ahead and push that up to the top. So again, a little drag and drop, and I'm going to put it right under the promo bar right there. So there it is. Looks good. I think I'm going to leave the white background. I think it borders nice, but I think I am going to change this to blue. So we're going to change that to blue. And then I'm going to change this to white or even gray. I'm actually going to add gray. So we're going to, yeah, it looks pretty good actually. Ooh. Notice as I get darker, it goes to white. So it automatically knows to do that. So we've got our little banner here. We got a link to the InkSoft Designer here. We've got a fundraiser. And we have a little congratulations to our seniors, which I'm going to move that up. And I'm going to change this banner and I'm going to make it red. Why not? So I'm going to go and make that red. And nice deep red. So we're kind of got those patriotic colors going. And save and publish. So I built the store. All I got to do is load it up with products. We want to take that and we want to make that blue too. So that's it. I mean, that's how fast it is. In basic, this is just my school store template now. And I can go and add testimonials and all kinds of fun stuff. But what I want to do now is I want to load it up with products. So I saved it. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over here to my store admin. and I'm going to go to active products, and we're going to start adding products. So I could add an existing product from my product library. Maybe I've already created a bunch of InkSoft products in the past for central boosters, and I just wanted to add those existing products in here, or I can just create a new product. It's kind of up to me. When I copied all of the products over from that other store, from that Ease Boosters store, that was very carefully curated. Like, those are the products that I use all the time. So when I brought them in, it's just all the real common, what we call basics that I use all the time. And so I brought in all those basics, nicely curated collection, and even have some signage products in here if I wanted to sell grad banners or things like that. I can go into this product list in the products management function in InkSoft and delete this. And just something I'd like to point out. When you add a new product to InkSoft, just when you select a product from the main product catalog, and there's a couple 100,000 products in there, it will automatically paste that into your, what we call your main store. So your main store that you created, like, they don't have to live in that full store. You can remove them from that store and they're still in your catalog. So the catalog exists outside the store. Basically, think of the catalog as just like this curated collection of products that you use all the time. And these products, this is an SNS or a SAMR product, we're connected to that feed. We're getting inventory data, we're getting updated photography. Bear in mind, some suppliers are better than others on their photography. So sometimes you might be ordering from SAMR, but you're using the photos from SNS. It's okay to do that. Bear in mind that most of these products have secondary views. I'm just going to add a quickie state-of-the-art, basic, simple Gildan 2000T, and then I'm going to start uploading art. So let's talk about that for a second. When you're uploading artwork to InkSoft, you're basically uploading it in one of two general formats. One is a vector-based format where it's composed of lines and objects, which is scalable, doesn't distort when you make them bigger, smaller. They're easier to print. If you have a vinyl cutter, you can cut them. Lots of advantages to vector graphics. Then you have bitmap graphics that are composed of pixels. Some disadvantages to bitmap graphics, which are, generally speaking, the fact that if you scale them up or down, they can lose quality and they're not easy to color change. If we upload a vector graphic and we go to print files, and this is a file that I created in our GraphicsFlow platform, and I'll just go over here to PDF files, great vector format. So we'll just pull up this generic file, and it's parsing all the colors out of the vector artwork. And let's upload another one just to kind of show how that works. Do this soccer file right here. So it's actually pulling the colors right out of the vector art. And what that allows me to do is what we call colorways. I'm going to go ahead and click on done. Here's the file. And let's add another color because we're going to load this up in the store and add navy blue. This doesn't look great on navy blue because it's got blue in the graphic. View colorways. Because I have a vector artwork, what I can do is I can come over here and reassign that navy blue to another color. And I'm going to reassign it to like a lighter gray and hit done. So now I'm going to save that. And I don't have to go to a mockup creation tool. It's just done. InkSoft does it. All I have to do is click on the navy and then click that version and click on create. Click on next product details. I'm going to get the word Gildan out of there because that gives me a little bit of flexibility if I have to change brands or I get a sale. I'm going to put in a prefix and I'm going to call that CBW, Central Boosters Winner. I'm going to run a report by SKU. Good fair price for these shirts, $25. But so we're going to kind of price average between double and triple, and then upcharge 35. And you can go into the product in the product manager and disable like the bigger sizes. And then I'm just going to hit finish. So I've got my first product. And let's add another product because let's add some embroidery. So I'm going to go over here and I'm going to say new product. And I'm going to pull up a hat. See if I got a Richardson 112 in here. And I'm going to upload an embroidery file this time. And we have a DST embroidery file. So bear in mind, DST files do not carry color data. All they do is carry needle positions that tells the machine like, hey, these objects need to be sewn in these colors in this order. So there's no color supported within a DST file. It's a pretty primitive format. What you can do is you can go into this DST file now and assign thread colors to it. So if I'm using Madeira and I just want to use a red that I use all the time, and I go to this part of the graphic and I'm just going to use white, I can upload that embroidery file and I can still make colorways out of this too. So go over here and go to colorways, create new colorway, and take that and make that navy right there, which is pretty dark. Save that colorway. And now I have two different versions. So same thing, we're doing the colorways. DST files at a fixed size. Can't really size DST embroidery files more than maybe 5% is a lot. because it would spread the threads out. Or if you size it too small, the threads get too close together and causes a thread break on the machine. So if you're ever wondering why I can't make these bigger or smaller, it's actually a safety net to not allow you to resize the image. And so that file was actually digitized at that size. I'd have to have a file that was digitized as a bigger size in order to get it to fill up more area. You could take a PNG file of the embroidery and it still looks like embroidery. You can scale it as big as you want. You know, you have the option of doing that. But in this one, I'm just going to use that color variation right there for this version. I'm going to use that color variation and I'm just going to say create product and next. And then we're going to do these hats, $30. We're going to do that. And then I'm just going to add one more product. New product, simple little basic Adidas polo here. Go over here and go to colorways, create it. And I think we're going to do $50 on here. Going to price average here again. So how do I get these into the store? Simple. I just have to go back to my style editor and we have the store component. I'm just going to come back over here and we're going to add it back in. And I'm just going to move it back up in the object order, right under the fundraiser. Go to manage products. There we go. We just added them. Yeah, that's the order. I think I actually want to do this. Put the t-shirt first. Save and publish and you're done. That's how easy it is to do a store. This is a template. So now I can rinse and repeat. I can turn this store into a completely different school. Now we talked about the little navigation, storefront right here. This is going to give you a live preview of what the store looks like. Store admin, where you change the settings, style editor, where you go in and edit the aesthetics of the store, and then store performance. This is for you. This is a store performance portal that's specifically for you to see what's going on in the store. But there's a customer-facing version of this, and this is available to the customer's account. So when they log into their account, they'll be able to not only see this, but they'll be able to see past orders or any designs they do in the designer. They'll be able to do all that stuff. Now, because I cloned the store, all those designs came over from the designer. But these designs right here are actually associated to me because I'm in my account. So your customer wouldn't see it. Let's come back over here. And this is where you'd add customer access. So you could go in and find a customer by email. You decide what's going to be visible to them if they want to see the fundraising module. The only people that are going to see these are the people that you've assigned. Nobody else can see it. We've got our store. Let's talk about cloning now. This store is going to show up at the bottom of my list. I could just type in winter here to find it. But if I want to swap this store out with another set of products, it's super easy. All I got to do is select it and then come over here and then just say clone store. And we'll do the same thing, winter 24. And here's the cool part. If I go include products and store artwork, all that store artwork is going to come over. Now, you're probably going, well, yeah, but I don't need it to say Central Cougars in an East Eagles store. But here's what you do want. You do want all those curated products coming over, so I don't have to go and assign to the store because they'll all come over from the other store. It might not be displayed, but they'll all come over. The reason I want the artwork is I go over here to replace an art in bulk. Just going to log into this store. And so I can just swap these graphics out. So now I go over to this one and I just say replace art and upload an embroidery file from East. I'll go over to my DST folder and I got some cool stuff. I have patches in here too. So I'll just do this file right there. We're going to make this color right here. That's going to be white. This right here with the beak is going to be definitely gold. Let's make that white. And then we'll make this navy. So once I do this, watch, all I have to do is click on upload and all the products that had that Cougars logo on it, they're all swapped. And then, we don't need this one, so we can delete that one. We don't need that one. We're not using that. We could do a swap on that, but we're definitely going to do a swap on this. So we're just going to hit the replace button. We're going to upload a print file that's associated with East Eagles. I just went into GraphicsFlow and I made variations of all these files across different schools. It is not hard to do. So now I've used GraphicsFlow to localize the artwork to go in here. So I've got versions for my common schools in my area, and maybe I make them just subtly a little bit different. That's a smart move. Here's all the new artwork already done. So you know what I have to do? All I'm going to do is go to the style editor and change the color scheme. Let's go to store admin first, and we'll just change the branding real quick. So I'm going to go over here and replace the art with the store branding for this. So we're going to use that banner. We're going to use the little eagle there. It doesn't take very long, does it? We're going to replace this banner right here. Let's save that. I got to change the contact person. So I'd go in here and change the contact person, the designer. I'm not going to use the designer in this store, so we're going to turn it off. And then basically it's just couple more little steps and we're done. So I'll go to the style editor and we're going to edit that. And I think I'm going to use a darker blue. We're going to edit that and replace that banner. Kill off that banner just entirely. And I'm going to do a different version of it. I'm going to do this version of it. So I'm going to upload that. And I'm going to add another banner. So I did went into GraphicsFlow real quick and made this little senior banner there. And I'm going to set that as a 4-second rotational interval, and it's going to be a slideshow now. We're going to save that over here. We're just going to go down and change that color scheme to that dark blue as well. And then we just have to kind of reorder things. I'm going to push this to the top, right below the CTA. And then there's the fundraiser, and then the featured products. And guess what? The products are already in there. I am going to go over here and match that blue up. Store banner, rotating banner, fundraiser. I'd probably go reset the goal on the fundraiser. The products already came over. I do need to go and fix the image location on that product. So I'm going to save that. All I would need to do is just go over here to store admin and products right here and go to the product itself. Go over here to pricing and styles and go to edit design, and you'd go in and resize it and put it in there. And then when you're done, hit apply changes. And then the other thing I'd probably want to do with this one is maybe change the colorway on that t-shirt. So I'm going to go over here and then just assign a new colorway. So same thing. So view colorways, like that, make it gray. Done, save. So on this one, it's that colorway. On this one, it's that colorway. Apply changes, and then save and publish, and we're done. And that'll just update live in the store. Nothing to it. The steps are changing the logos, changing the colors, changing the contact person. If you want to update the pricing, if you want to change the background colors and do new colorway versions, you can do that. But it's just a super fast and handy way to create a store. I want to urge everybody to really hyper focus on utilizing store cloning to launch your stores. Because what we've done in this account is we've gone in and created like these little quick templates for most of the vertical markets that we service. So if I go into my stores, there's little quick store templates for different vertical markets. So I have a quick store template for corporate. There's a quick store template for fundraisers. There's a little quick store template, and there's a holiday store template in here. I just clone these, and if I want to launch a new holiday store, just a matter of cloning the store, and it's just a faster, more productive way. Now, there's a whole nother level to InkSoft stores, and we just talk surface level where we're just doing like basic components and just kind of getting that, really simple basic store built. But the next level with InkSoft stores is utilizing other tools. And so some of the types of tools that we've utilized in this particular store, I'm going to show you right here. We incorporated an AI chatbot, an account with Dante AI, and I went and trained a chatbot on kind of what our store does. It can answer all the questions about my business. It can also collect leads or let the customer steer past that if I want to. How do I talk to you? This thing knows pretty much everything about this store, what services, why I should buy from you. This store has some custom HTML. So this right here is, I use ChatGPT. I pasted this image into a custom content block, and then I copied the HTML code into ChatGPT and I said, hey, put a transparency over that. I need a button with rounded corners, and I need it to be in this font, and I need the button to be this hex color and white text, and I need to center this text in the middle of it. And then I just went in and had ChatGPT update it for me. So basically, this is a content block where I use HTML, and I just went in, grabbed this HTML, threw it into ChatGPT, and told it to make changes, and then it updates the HTML, and then I put it in here. But the only thing I did when I started this one was this. I just imported the image. Didn't do anything else. I imported the image. When you import the image, it creates the URL to store the image. So then when I paste that into ChatGPT, then I just gave it the commands, 36-point type, centered above, group ordering done right, and then below it, centered between the button. It just give it very explicit instructions, and it does all that. And by the way, you can go in here and hack this HTML too. If you want to just change text or copy, you can hack it. Or the other thing you could do is just do it right in here. It updates the HTML. So you can do some pretty outstanding things. And if you really want to see kind of a showcase store, which is our kind of virtual test kitchen for stores, you can go into the East Eagles Booster store. And the store there's a lot going on in the store. So we have GraphicsFlow designs that you can direct link to and name drop in here. There's that sharing link there. All I did is brought the image in from GraphicsFlow and then put live text into it, and InkSoft saved it and then grabbed the sharing link and then took a screen capture of the shirt and then just pasted it into one of those content blocks and then had ChatGPT write the code to align these. And then I'm just going to name drop player name and number. Here's a name drop patch. So I took a PNG file out of my embroidery digitizing software, and then I just typed this text in here. So you'd have to recreate the text in your digitizing software with the keyboard lettering. It lets the customer see really what's going on. A couple other fun things in this store. We have name-droppable patches in here, leather patches that you laser engrave. There's grad banners. So really the sky's the limit on these kind of stores, limited by your own creativity. I'd urge any of you to go to the InkSoft /East Eagles Boosters store and just kind of see some of the neat things that we've done in here. Like got the GraphicsFlow art portal embedded in here, and we even have GraphicsFlow art that was customized for East Eagles is the first thing you see, because we can add our own art to an art portal. And then second thing you see is if you just want to see like all the art, all the basketball designs, they can click on a design and submit a design request. And that just goes into your GraphicsFlow account. And then when they sign off on the design, then you populate that into an InkSoft store and you got cool artwork in your store. It's just another way to collaborate with your customers. I wanted to challenge everybody to really utilize store cloning, that new templating function. I think it's really exciting. I think you'll be very impressed with what the stores look like. We put a lot of energy into the aesthetics and design of the stores. That's going to be a very useful feature for our customers and help you to launch those stores even faster. Thank you for joining us on InkSoft Academy today, and we will see you on the next class.